Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Chadwick Strilchuk. I just want to first thank Sean Mike for letting me hop on for a few minutes, do some training. Just also want to give credit where credit's due. Want to thank my upline, Eric Anthony. Want to thank Mike Killamit, Mark Mead, and also Matt Smith. Those are just a few gentlemen that have helped me out along the way. That's what's great about this company. There's so many resources when it comes to apps, different websites, YouTube videos. We got so much content and it keeps on growing. It's just, if you fail at this, it's because you're not trying hard enough. Just to be straight, completely transparent with you. But my topic today that I'm going to go over is going to be HMS150 cashback option, and offering that to the younger crowd. So offering that to the crowd that is early 20s to late 30s, 40 tops around that area. And I'm going to show the value, what I do on helping people supplement their retirement. So before I get into that, I want to give a quick background on myself. 32 out of New Braunfels, Texas, which is right in between Austin and San Antonio, Texas. Work with wonderful people at Family First Life, Texas. Been in the business for a little over 5 years. Definitely been a journey. When I first started, it literally started from the bottom. We're talking 30% commission rate, 6-month advance, door to door, no leads, not vested till a while. And it was tough selling cancer plans, something that some people didn't really see a big why in. However, all these things in your life that you go through, and myself as well too, whenever I went through things like that, personally I'm grateful for it, because it only built more grit, it built toughness in me, and I'm thankful for everything that I've gone through, good, bad, or indifferent in my life, because there's always a lesson learned in everything that we do. But before I get into the topic, I want to talk really quick about my why. So, years back, my mom and dad, they lost their home years back. So, how that looks is my father, he's a truck driver for a reputable grocery company. He's been truck driving for 30 years. Everything was great. Good benefits, good life insurance, 401k, short-term, long-term disability. He started getting back problems. It started getting bad where he was having to get cortisone shots every week, cortisone shots every week. Started using his short-term disability, long-term disability. Then it ran out. These companies are great. I mean, nothing against them. They're all great, but things are going to happen. Things can happen. So what was next? He had to get it into his 401k just so he can make payments of other kind of things and whatnot. So basically diluted his 401k because he took it out, way before, it was time. So he got taxed like crazy. Boom, that's all gone. Made payments on the house, However, to make things worse at that time, when he was sending payments to, quote unquote, the bank that it was going to, I'm not going to say any names, but they didn't receive payment. So months passed. Dad and mom ended up losing the house. That was a tough time in my life. Cause everything was going great, life was going good, things like that. Dad and mom had to live with my mom's sister. I had to at that time. This wasn't enough room, and I didn't want to move with them, so moved in with some friends, and but grateful for those times. By God's grace, we got to where we're at. There was obviously other hurdles in between that time, but Dwayne Johnson says it best. I was watching a video that he put up, and he had some really bad times. He got outbeat by, I think, Warren Sapp when he was in college football, and only had like 7-8 bucks left. Got kicked out. He was out of the Canadian League, had nowhere to go. But whenever you're going through something like that, and let's say it's like right now, I'm going through appointments, and I have like 7 appointments, 10 appointments, and all of them no-show, and I just want to go home. But you go to that last one because that last one's going to be the one where you sell. So Dwayne Johnson says that whenever he's going through something currently in life, he remembers those bad times of living with friends, or there was a time in my personal life, for example, that I didn't even have enough money for a Redbox video. That much time. I got declined from a Redbox video. Fast forward now, I'm able to help out my parents at ends meet. My brother goes to school in Washington. I help him out all the time. It's a very humbling experience. As long as you put in the work, see the people, and help them out. That's all it is. It's just wash, rinse, and repeat. Anyways, I'm gonna get into my topic now. So this is what I carry when I go inside the house. I have this awesome little folder, got that from Global Atlantic. Really appreciative of that. I have everything in here. I have leads, brochures, my cards, also this prescription case right over here. So I want to build credibility everywhere I go. I got this prescription card, discount card that we get from corporate. I tell the clients, hey, this can either save you a lot of money or it can save you a little bit of money, but anything helps, right? They're like, heck yeah, anything helps. So I have that in there. Me personally, I have different things in here like, by brochures and all that kind of good stuff, just to build credibility. But whenever I'm getting on the phone, whenever I book the appointment, I'm telling the client, hey, just when I arrive, make sure to ask for my state license along with my Texas photo ID. I get to the house, show them my Texas license and also my Texas photo ID. Make sure you're talking to the right person. Joke around with them. Always make fun of yourself. Show them the license, and I go, for whatever reason, I guess that's when I was working with a weird company, so I had a suit on looking like a monkey. I tell the client, I say, hey, look, that's whenever I was a mariachi, and they started laughing. So it works 9 times out of 10. Just make fun of yourself and be relatable. Get into the house. I usually take my shoes off, unless the house is just like stuff everywhere. Then I don't take the shoes off. Go to the kitchen table, and I'm walking with a big stack of leads too, because I want them to know that I'm busy. I don't got much time. I'm not just some regular insurance guy. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing. So walk in, sit down at the table with them, show them the lead card. Again, tell them basically how today's gonna go. In a few minutes, I'm gonna ask some basic health questions, finance questions. That'll just let me know which one of these carriers, and I'm always pointing body language, which one of these carriers is the best option for approval, okay? And then so I go through all of that, go through mortgage protection, life insurance, and retirement planning, what we do. And I'm just going quick on that because I want to get to the main part of the value that I build in these plans. So let's say that the person's 27, 28 years old or younger. I go to the very end. I'm like, hey, in a few minutes, give me about 5 minutes, I'm going to look at some options for you. You can grab you a glass of water. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Then I go into the plans. I do my quotes, and I'll show a 20-year, a 30-year HMS150, and then I'll do another 30-year cashback option as well too. The first two are going to be the main coverage. So this one, for example, was $216,000 of coverage. So I do a 20 and a 30-year, and then I'll show them a 30-year of the actual $250,000 of coverage. So whenever I go through all of them, I'm like, hey John, so these plans are going to be just like the one that I have of my personal self, and I just like to be very transparent on everything I'm going over with you guys. So I pull out my actual policy, and I'll show them it. It'll look just like this, and mine's all raggedy, so I'll tell my dog chew about mine or whatever. And then I say, hey, I like to be completely transparent with you guys. So just for example, on mine personally, I have a 20-year, and I point to the 20-year. So I'm pointing to the 20-year. I have a 20-year. I'm giving them an example. I'm painting a picture. I have a 20-year with the return of premium. So if I die, my family's taken care of in between that time. But if I don't die, all the premiums that I pay into, I receive back tax-free. Now the reason why I show the younger folks the HMS150 is, first off, if we did die in the next 5-10 years, it's most likely going to be an accident, unfortunately. So I want to give them bigger accidental death on that plan. The reason why I'm doing HMS 150 on a younger person is because it's going to be a lot cheaper in price as opposed to looking at that on a 40, 50, 60-year-olds. So I show them. I'm being complete. I want to build rapport and trust, very transparent with them. So it's going to be this much, that's a year, not a month, and they start laughing. And then I go into, that's what I'll be receiving back tax-free in 20 years. I say personally, me, I'm getting about $30,780 tax-free. What I'm going to personally do is put that into a retirement account and let it accrue interest until I'm ready to take it out at retirement age. Does that make sense, John? They're like, yeah. And let's say John has twins that are 1 year old. Depending on what option you go with, John, 20 or 30, you can have that lump sum put in a retirement account as like me. You can give it to the kids for whenever they're either in college or married if it's a 30-year or whatever the case is. John, now each of the family that I sit down with, we're all different. Our situation is different. I'm just showing you what mine does. So I do a 20-year, 30-year with the cashback option. Now I'll show them the 20-year and then the 30-year at the regular rate, the regular amount of coverage, $216. And then I'll also show them the 250, the full amounts. And if you look at the difference, the 30-year on just the 216 is $100. The 30 years is $115.42 for an extra like $35,000 of coverage. So more coverage, and it's not that much more. So in a way, whenever I'm going through everything, I kind of top-down sell this in a way. So what I'm saying by that is, I'll show them the 20-year, and I'll say the 20 year is $167.70. The 30-year, John, is $100.74. Now, you were saying, John, that you're probably not going to be living here, that long. Like in 10, 15 years, you're probably going to pay the house off. That's the goal, and then probably want to sell, and maybe just like you were telling me earlier, is that fair to say you want to get some land in Fredericksburg or Kerrville? And build a custom house over there, correct? Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, great. So I don't advise a 20-year, and the reason why I don't advise a 20-year is let's say you pay this house off in 10, 15 years, right? He's like, yep. Then you're gonna have, let's say it's 15 years. So then you're gonna have 15 years. I recommend one of the 30 years. The reason why, John, is on the 30-year, you're gonna have, let's say you pay the house off 15 years, you'll have 15 years extra coverage that you can take onto the next property. And if that house is more than the 216, I recommend maxing it out to the 250, because that's going to give you 250,000 regular death, 375,000 accidental death, and instead of having a 20-year with the money back, you're covered 10 extra years. Now, can you see how that one makes sense, John? Yeah, that sounds great. And you're paying from $167 to $115. You're paying a significant amount less, getting more coverage, and then covered 10 years longer. Can you see how that makes financial sense, John? John says, yup. Okay, may I see your driver's license and a voided check? What we're gonna do now is complete an online application to the carrier for a request for approval. He gives me his application, he gives me his banking information and his ID, and then we are good to go. But that is pretty much all I got. If you have any questions about everything I went over, kind of went through it pretty quick. Any questions at all, feel free to DM me on Facebook, Instagram, any kind of social media. But thanks guys for listening, and have a great rest of your day.